Hi, everybody. Okay, so today I want to talk a little bit about injustices, racism, sexism, homophobia, all of the violence that's happening in the world, all of the power plays, uh, basically everything that is just wrong and gross. um, so, i- for those of you who don't know, like, I have always been an activist at heart, and for a little while it was my full-time work. And there is something about injustices that just drive me mad. Like, I hate it. I hate these systems that uh these systems of oppression that just operate so effortlessly, that are just so pervasive that most people don't even realize it, right? Like, it takes awareness. It takes uh you know a humbling to really look and see, where do we as individuals have privilege, and where are we part of the marginalized, those that are on the fringe. And all of us, because we are human, and because we are multi-dimensional, multifaceted, we all have both areas of privilege and areas of marginalization. And I think that's important to remember, because sometimes we get too, like, especially for those of us like me who are, more progressive, more liberal, you know, we can get a little bit too caught up in just the element of that's impacting us as a victim, um, as a member of a marginalized community. But you're not powerless. I'm here to remind you of that. You are not powerless. And I'm going to give you a way to start changing the world, to start actually manifesting and creating the world that you want, right? That you actually want to live in. One, like, for me, that looks like a an equitable society. It looks like the end of all these systems of oppression. It looks like people being in harmony with one another. Harmony, right? Not So what I love about harmony is each individual note. I'm not a musician, but, like, you know, each note can be what it is, right? It can be that particular note. It's not changing into a different note, but they can come together and create something even more beautiful together. You know, so for me, a world that is harmonious, that is peaceful, where love is more prevalent, um, more of the baseline, where people have their needs, at least their basic needs, if not more, met. Everyone. There is no homelessness. There is no poverty. There is no people being forced to do anything against their will. People being forced to be something that they're not, or somebody that they're not. All of that would be gone. People could be authentically themselves in the world that I want to create, right? authentically themselves, empowered to be exactly who they are, allow their gifts, their special uniqueness, their idiosyncratic genius to shine, because everybody has some genius. It's different for everybody, and that's the beauty of it, right? That is the beauty of this human experience, is that we get to we are all expressions of God, the divine source, the universe. We are all facets of it. Okay. It's got a little passionate over there. So, now, what I'm about to say is gonna be hard, I think, for a lot of people, because it's not always easy, right? That means for me that I actually have to see the divine in Donald Trump, or in, people whose actions I don't resonate with. I'm telling you, that's hard, right? To actually not just demonize, not just polarize, right? Because the more we are divided as a people, the more that we are, the more that we subscribe to polarization, I think that is keeping the system alive, because the system thrives on that, right? Thrives on differences being bad, as opposed to what I said earlier about being harmonious. That the differences, the different notes, when they come together, the different notes, beautiful on their own and extraordinary in unity with other notes. Harmonious. Okay, anyway, so how do we create this world, right? A world that we really want to live in. Well, first of all, Einstein had talked about the mind of the problem is not the same mind that's going to find the solution. So to the extent, I'm paraphrasing, I don't remember the exact quote, but essentially, like, if we keep focusing on what's wrong, the problem, the racism, the sexism, the war, in religious persecution, if we keep focusing our attention on that and solely that, sadly, we're keeping that system in place. I know that's hard to hear, right? Because you're like, but, it's just wrong. You gotta, you gotta see it and face it. And I am not saying that you don't have to do that. I'm asking you to add something to it. I'm asking you to visualize, actually see it in your mind, a world that you want to see. What does a world with world peace look like? What does a world that is harmonious and loving actually look like? Are people smiling at each other? Or is there a genuine friendliness and kindness that just comes forth? Are differences appreciated instead of trying to smash people into little cookie cutter versions of one another? That paradigm's over, y'all. Like, it's time for something new. So spend some time thinking, visualizing, make it up in your head, And the reason why this is important is because everything that manifests into the physical realm, the physical reality first starts in the imagination, in the mind, in the mind's eye, right? This is one of the greatest gifts that humans have, is our ability to create. And that creation starts in here, So visualize it. And then, if you have a hard time seeing it or whatever, maybe you can get to this next step, which is to feel it. What would it feel like to live in that world? Oh my gosh, I could just take a deep breath. Whew. Oh my gosh, I could think, I could feel safe walking down any street, anywhere, anytime, as a woman, dressed however I want to dress. Whew, that feels good. I can feel this psychological release, like a big exhale, a collective exhale. That's what it would feel like for me, like I could know that my little girl, that whatever her future is bright, right? Because her uniqueness will have a place in this harmony. Her unique chord contributes to the magnificence of this harmonious world. I would be so happy that people could just be people. They could just truly be freely themselves. That they could do what they really want to do. They can be who they really are. They can, without oppression, without having to work twice as hard to get half as far, without having to worry, about everything. Will there be enough money? Am I enough? Am I going to get laid off or cut? Like, all of that would be gone and replaced with mental, emotional, physical, spiritual safety. It would be calm. It'd be loving. And man, then the creations that can come out of this, right? Wow. Creating out of the joy of creating and your uniqueness, as opposed to creating as a release. Or these are not judgments. I'm just sharing with you the world what it would feel like in the world that I want to create. So why are these two things important? Number one, your imagination, as I mentioned, like, that is the beginning, right? Like, you've got to see what it is that you want to create. You've got to see it in your mind's eye. It doesn't exist right now. If you look out at the world as it is currently, you're going to be sorely disappointed, because this world is the result of millennia of human consciousness. So think about it, right? Like, back in the 1500s or whatever, people were more barbaric, right? Like, literally chopping each other with knives, and like just more violent, more primitive. Well, we're growing, right? Like, we're growing as a human race, and we're evolving. We're designed to evolve. So we're not there. but remnants of that barbaric, divisive, tribalism, whatever, that mentality, through collective consciousness, through most people not being awake. And so what they do is they just continue to observe what is. And by observing what is, what are you doing? You're giving more life force to that, which is, instead of actually creating. So I don't want us to keep just observing what is, because we're going to create more of it. And what is sucks. It's better than it was back, from those days. But this is nowhere near what we're capable of the world that we are capable of. We are capable of so much more. We're capable as a human race to rise above this nonsense, this divisiveness, this selfishness, the self-absorbedness, we're better than this, people. I know we are. I know it. And even if there's too many people that are stuck in their darkness, they can't find the light within themselves, they can't find the compassion, the love, the kindness, the grace within themselves, guess what? It's okay. Because the vibrations that I'm talking about, the frequency of peace, of love, of joy, of kindness, they vibrate so much higher, so much more rapidly, that it takes a fraction of the people who are in the darkness to make a difference in the world. One person vibrating at enlightenment and peace, like that high vibration, can counteract millions of people that are vibrating low. So, even if you just spend a minute a day, or, I don't know, when you're stuck at a traffic light, when you're in the bathroom and taking a shower, when you have 2 seconds, I don't know. But if you could just spend some time on a regular basis, preferably a daily basis, thinking about, contemplating the world that you want, focusing on the feeling it would give you, you are doing something huge for humanity. Don't downplay it. We are spiritual beings first. This is a spiritually operated world, which means that your consciousness, what you direct your attention to, is way more powerful than you think. So, you want to end racism, sexism, homophobia? You want an end to poverty? You want an end to war and violence, human trafficking? Name your cause. Then imagine the world without it. Start imagining it. Start living it. Start breathing life into it. And as I've said in other videos, we are a part of that collective consciousness. So if we want to take a soiled, muddied up collective consciousness and make it brighter, cleaner, lighter, then we pour our good light into it. We pour our vision into it. We pour our love. We feel into that. And there are certain universal laws that are in effect, and it will come to pass. It must. It's law. It's universal law. All right. Let's do this. I'm done with this. Oh, and by the way, you know, you can keep doing other things. Like you can utilize what you are observing in your day to day to start thinking about opposites of that, right? You can continue to do your protests or letter writing to legislators. You could do any of that stuff. I encourage that because we're still in the 3D as well, and those actions do matter. I'm just saying add this. It really makes a difference. All right. I love you. And I love us. I want the good to win. I want the light to win. And we will. We will.